Hi, this is Ardek from Carach Angren, and you're listening to the Dan Chan Show on Hard Rock Hell Radio.
So I'm joined by Ardek from Carach Angren. How are you, mate?
I'm great, thank you. Glad to be here.
And how's everything with you with lockdown and everything? Has it been productive?
Well, yeah, I always jokingly say I'm always in lockdown. It's just that the rest of the world is too now. So
Stuck in the studio.
Yeah, exactly. I'm always working inside, and so in that sense, not a lot has changed for me.
Sure. So you just released your new album, which is a bit of a mouthful, Franckensteina Strataemontanus. Have I said that correct?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how to pronounce it myself, so that's why we
really?
put it up.
This
I want to try.
it dropped in June. How's it going? I know the response has been good. I mean, you got like some great chart positions around the world, including a number one in Finland.
Yeah, that was the first time that we actually entered some of these charts, and it was really overwhelming because, we've been working super hard on this album, and then, when it's finally out, you're sort of not expecting anything anymore, and then it was really overwhelming. Everyone was really loving the album, and it's like that's really cool to just read about it, and that's really something to be grateful about.
Yeah, for sure. Did COVID affect the release at all? I believe, did you push it back a bit?
Yeah, we pushed it back a month. So yeah, that was not so much, and there was some talk to postpone it more because I saw some other bands postpone their releases, sometimes even indefinitely. But we felt like, no, we're excited about this now, and especially, with a lockdown and everyone focused inside, it was like an honor to be able to do this now, more than ever.
Well, it's a unique opportunity to be able to get people stuck at home listening to your music, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly, and nothing else, going on, no shows, and why not?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, you like the concept album theme. It suits the band's direction being categorized as horror metal. Does it make it easier to write an album when you have a running theme like that?
Yes and no. It has always been, I always have felt in this band like being a film composer, and I like that because it's you work towards a story, and the story evokes all kinds of emotions and images in your mind. And for me, it's easier to then sit at the piano and come up with all this stuff. And on the other hand, it's becoming difficult every time because after 5 albums, it's like, okay, blank page syndrome, fear, can we do it? What's it going to be like? So what I have learned over the years is that you need to put a lot of time in getting inspired, and you cannot force that. So, for example, for this album, I personally have been researching a lot, reading a lot of books, visiting museums, stuff like that, talking to people, and just letting go, and more like a hobby. And then at a certain point I felt really like connected to all this material and confident, and then went full force ahead with writing everything.
So, I mean, that's one thing I was going to say to you, actually. When beginning to fix on a theme, do you extensively research? Have you done that on the previous 5 albums before?
Yeah, a little bit of both. I mean, usually one of us has an idea about the album. This time it was me more, and then I took sort of the front, and I'm more like a reader, so I tend to do that. And Sarah goes, for example, more into movies. So whenever he gets ideas, it's usually for movies. So he's more of a visual character. Mm-hmm. So it depends, and some stories don't need a lot of research, but this one needed because we wanted to avoid the cliches and just retell the Frankenstein story. So I wanted an original angle, so I had to really dig deep to basically end up at what inspired Mary Shelley. So
yeah, that's cool. And what's with concept albums? I mean, what's your favourite concept album? Just sort of out of the blue, I don't know. I just thought about this question. Do you have one?
Those are the best questions, right? I don't have a particular one, but I like a lot of soundtracks, and in a sense they are all concept albums because they are built for movies, making the movie shine in a musical sense.
On the production of the album, you've got on this album, first time I believe, you've got some clean vocals. Why did you choose to now start doing clean vocals, and did you feel the songs needed it?
Yeah, I mean, I remember for myself, I was working on the song "Soon for Solitude," and I jokingly, or like experimentally, recorded some vocals on the chorus, and they ended up on the album because it fitted so well. It was more an intuitive thing than anything else. We did some more choirs on the title track, and not too much, but there were a couple of moments on the album where we felt like it adds something. And so we work more intuitively in that sense, not like, oh, there needs to be this or that. And I think it fits where it is now, yeah.
With your live shows, obviously they're very spectacular and theatrical, cutting dolls, etc. Do you feel when you're writing, do you have the live element in your mind when you're putting albums together?
And some songs, yes, because I know there will always be a couple of songs on a concept on our albums that we maybe won't perform live, or that let's say an example like the last track is slow and it's very long. You know, that won't be the opener.
No.
Or it could be more be a theatrical thing, but there are other songs like the title track that I kept exceptionally short this time, and that's also with having in mind, you know, you can reach different people with that. Yes.
And then tell me about your live show, because I believe you've got a pretty cool set of keyboards, haven't you? They float, don't they?
Yes, exactly. Like my brother, our drummer, built that for me when he was still in the band. Unfortunately, not anymore. But yeah, that was kind of cool. I had to learn playing all over again.
You like Tommy Lee, but on keyboards. So with obviously your theatrics on stage and the blood and everything, do you like the controversy? Because I know you offended some Christians a few years ago. I want you to tell me a bit about that story, because that helped thrust you into the public eye, didn't it?
Yeah, that was a crazy story, because we were touring everywhere, playing our shows everywhere, and then of all places in liberal Holland, we got into some kind of trouble, but it never ended up as trouble because, you know, there was major publicity, mainstream publicity. So I was very grateful for these people to have made a problem about
but you must have known, if you're going to play a show on Christmas Eve and call it what you did, you must know you're going to get a bit of backlash, but a good backlash, right?
Yeah, and the funny thing is that this was more from the promoter, because the promoter made a poster saying like Carach Angren is gonna unleash the demons here on Christmas Eve. And then some of these Christian people from this organization saw that poster with all the makeup and the masks and stuff, and then they got like offended. And
another off the cuff question: how long does the makeup take? Is it? I've not really spoke to many bands with corpse paint. So what's the? How long does it take to get the makeup on? Because you're a good looking guy, man. I showed my wife your pictures, like before and after. She's like, wow.
Was it after that I look good?
Yeah. But I mean, is it like a major ritual before the show, or is it just a case of slapping it on in the toilet?
It depends on how much time there is. Sometimes it's only 5 minutes, and then you need to do it in 5 minutes. But when there's more, time for an elaborate photo shoot, then you take more time.
Yeah, of course. And do you like the anonymity? Do you get recognised before or after the show, or do you like to just like slip in, slip out kind of thing?
Yeah, I never planned it like that, but it kind of works, because it also pushes you to become something else. When you put it on, you get into kind of a vibe,
Well,
it helps.
Like bands like Ghost as well doing it, and it becomes it suits you as well because of your performance and the theatre of it. It's perfect.
Thanks. Yes.
So we're talking about finishing off on the tour dates thing. Have you rescheduled for next year?
Yeah, we had some plans for the fall, but probably won't happen. And so we have great management and booking agencies, so they probably push everything for later. But yeah, we don't know exactly when yet. That's just waiting.
Yeah, it's on the unknown, isn't it? So just going back to the beginning. At the beginning of the concept of the band, I mean, how did you decide on the horror metal? Are you fans of the genre, or is it just the fact of the movies? Is that what brought it together?
We started basically, making albums about ghost encounters, so to speak. And later, started incorporating more general horror themes. And we grew a little bit tired of this symphonic black metal genre tag, because whatever does that mean, And there have been so many bands copying various things. And so we felt like, let's try to find a new tag, because everyone wants to know what is the genre. And we just call it horror metal now, but it can mean whatever, you know. But I hope that people now recognize what we do a little bit more, and yeah.
Yeah, I think it's you always keep pushing, and that's what's cool. It's different all the time, which is a very difficult thing to do these days.
Yeah, and it's a challenge, and but I like that, because I wouldn't like to make the same album over and over again. I would get bored and get out of this probably. So
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So where do your personal music taste stem from yourself? Because I know I'm going to come into your solo stuff in a minute, but how did you get into your music? Because I believe you're classically trained, aren't you?
Yeah, I started playing keyboard when I was like 7 already, and I had lessons, fortunately, keyboard lessons weekly, theory, but I played like classical stuff, but also pop music, and just learning tunes, learning to memorize them, and learning scales and studying, and so that's where it all started. And then in my puberty, it got more into metal, rock, punk, and eventually more into the darker realms like black metal and so. And lately I've been appreciating many different genres. I listen to jazz music, classical, but even Michael Jackson, whatever. I appreciate a variety. Maybe I'm getting old.
Good music's good music, isn't it, at the end of the day? But as long as your heart's still black,
Yeah. Exactly.
That's what it's got to be. So away from the band, you've got a solo project, you write film scores and have written and produced for others, notably of late, Lindemann. So do you like the variations within the industry? Do you like mixing up? I mean, you've obviously just said that your upbringing was that way inclined, so you must enjoy the variations it brings.
So much, and I'm so grateful to work with all these different people. It gives you a new energy, and because only Carach can make me tired, because it's usually the same kind of stuff and the same kind of atmosphere, and doing other projects usually gives you a completely new vibe, and also new ideas and new skills even. So that's really great.
Yeah. And you sang on one of the Lindemann's tracks, didn't you? And I can hear you. It's definitely your sweeping orchestration over it too on the track "That's My Heart." That's right.
Yeah, they needed we were experimenting with women's voices, so I was like imitating that. And we were like, oh, let's keep it in the background and put some more voices. Yeah, that's just how it sometimes happens in creative process.
Yeah, it's very cool. So, a couple of last questions. Your favourite horror film?
Oh God,
you must have been asked that before.
Yeah. All the time.
I expected a quicker answer then.
Watching Feels movies like Antichrist, and so I'm into that right now. And
yeah. So, and also, what's your favourite horror movie character of all time? I'm going to say Franckenstein, aren't you?
Yeah, I have to say it probably.
Well, listen, thanks so much, Ardek, for joining me. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Good luck with the album, and I hope to see you on the road next year.
Thanks for the interview, and good luck, and hope to see you soon.